Good day. Welcome to News Now on TV360. I am Thelma Okoro. President Muhammad Buhari has finally addressed Nigerians after returning from a leave of absence. The president returned on Saturday after spending 103 days in London. In his first address on Monday morning, the president addressed issues ranging from the agitation for Biafra, the anti-insurgency war, and his commitment to his office. He also resounded his previous warning to those agitating for Nigeria's separation, saying the country's unity is non-negotiable.
We both came to the conclusion that the country must remain one and united. Nigerians' unity is settled and not negotiable. We shall not allow irresponsible elements to start trouble, and when things get bad, they run away and settle others with the responsibility of bringing back order, if necessary, with their blood. Every Nigerian has the right to live and pursue his business anywhere in Nigeria without let or hindrance. I believe the very vast majority of Nigerians share this view. This is not to deny that there are legitimate concerns. Every group has a grievance, but the beauty and attraction of a federation is that it allows different groups to air their grievances and work out a mode of coexistence. The National Assembly and the National Council of States are the legitimate and appropriate bodies for national discourse. The national consensus is that it is better to live together than to live apart. Furthermore, I am charging the security agencies not to let the successes achieved in the last 18 months be a sign to relax. Terrorists and criminals must be fought and destroyed relentlessly so that the majority of us can live in peace and safety. Therefore, we are going to reinforce and reinvigorate the fight not only against the elements of Boko Haram, which are attempting a new series of attacks on soft targets, kidnappings, farmers versus herdsmen clashes, in addition to ethnic violence fueled by political mischief makers. We shall tackle them all. Finally, dear Nigerians, our collective interest now is to eschew petty differences and come together to face common challenges of economic security, political evolution and integration, as well as lasting peace among all Nigerians. I remain resolutely committed to ensuring that these goals are achieved and maintained. I am so glad to be home.
Nigerian youths have been urged to learn lessons from the Nigerian Civil War as well as shun hate speeches and live together in unity. This call was made at a book launch in Abuja, the nation's capital city. Speakers at the event believe dialogue is a sure way to end agitations and other divisive elements in the country.
It is the responsibility of writers to interrogate the issues in their country. Those whose responsibility it is to now apply the lessons are the citizens of the country. It is not the writers who would then go at the same time into making the change practically. It is the citizens of the country who have a responsibility to change their country. All the writer does is to create the knowledge base for the change to take place.
The book is asking every Dick and Harry, every section of the country, irrespective of your ethnicity, embrace dialogue. And the youth should know that blocking the road with placards. It's a normal thing with a democratic session, but there is a way to do it. And on the side of the government, anybody with placards has something that itches him or her. Government should draw closer to that individual or those group of persons and listen to them. By listening to them, you identify one or two persons, and from there, you may dialogue and the peace will be brokered. That is the book.
Encourage other youths to tell the Lord of Nameka and get their mind focused on a lot of positive things and get their mind off hate speeches, like you just asked me questions. Get their mind off things that are going to cause trouble in the society and make them look less productive. Because if you actually want the country to hand over power to the youths, you must show some example.
Yeah, the most striking part of the book is the fact that it talks about something that we have been trying to sweep under the carpet for a long time. It talks about the injustice to the lowest people in the society, how the poor and the marginalized are affected during times of war and crisis. That's the major aspect of the book that really struck me.
The Lagos state government has confirmed the death of 12 persons in a boat mishap in Ilashe area of the state. The incident occurred over the weekend, and a statement issued by the managing director of the Lagos State Waterways Authority, LASWA, Abisola Kamson, said 4 persons also survived the incident. He attributed the unfortunate mishap to overloading of passengers on a banana boat and operation of illegal jetty. Search and rescue operations are still ongoing at the scene of the incident. A new report released by the National Bureau of Statistics shows that 8,663 people lost their jobs in the first half of 2017. This means an average of 360 people have been sacked every week from January to June 2017. The half figures were higher in the first quarter and lower in the second quarter of the year. In the first quarter of 2017, there were about 174 executive staff, but the figure reduced it to 161 in the second quarter. From 20,483 senior staff in the first quarter, the number dropped to 19,826 in the second quarter, while the drop was larger in the junior staff category, where the number dropped to 33,783 in the second quarter from 36,202 in the first quarter. However, the number of contract staff increased from 20,237 in the first quarter to 21,837 in the second quarter. The Academic Staff Union of Universities will hold a crucial meeting at a zonal level to deliberate on the offers made by the Nigerian government in their last meeting. The union last week declared indefinite strike action to protest the non-implementation of agreement between the union and the federal government. Since the start of the strike action, the union has met with the government twice to reach an agreement to end the ongoing strike action. During the last meeting, the federal government offered to pay 23 billion naira and a monthly payment of 1.5 billion naira, pending the outcome of a forensic audit being carried out by the Ministry of Finance. Royal Dutch Shell has raised alarm over the continuing protests at its Nigerian facility by protesters. These protesters are demanding jobs and infrastructure development. The protests have lasted for about 2 weeks already. In a statement, Shell says it's deeply concerned about unauthorized persons, including women and children, being exposed in close proximity to equipment that process crude oil and gas without protection of safety clothing. The company says it had not been able to gain access to the plant since the seizure and called on the protesters to leave immediately. The Nigerian Labour Congress has commiserated with the Sierra Leone Labour Congress, the government and people of Sierra Leone on the mass deaths caused by mudslides in Freetown. This comes as rescue workers revealed they had discovered 499 dead bodies since last week's devastating landslide. Authorities this week buried 461 bodies in quickly dug graves in the Waterloo Cemetery near the site of a mass burial for victims of the Ebola crisis that killed 4,000 people in the former British colony between 2014 and 2016. 38 more bodies were found on Sunday. This is according to the Chief Coroner, Sene Dembuya, which is bringing the number of the official death toll to 499. An unknown disease which has killed many people in Kogi State has been identified as gastroenteritis. According to reports, more than 62 people have been killed in 2 weeks when the situation came to light. But the Kogi State Commissioner for Health, Saka Audu, says this figure was given by local leaders in the affected areas and not verified by the government.
What is wrong with you? Man saying no. Tell them I drove for more than 1 hour.
Yeah, me. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe. Ká kúrò fún Ọlọ́run. Ká satisfy yín níbi ọ̀rọ̀ yín náà ni mò ń ṣe.
Ẹ wo jẹ́ ká lọ jàre ká kúrò nbi báyìí.
Ẹ jọ̀ọ́ ẹ má bínú. Hello ọ̀gá. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín lẹ́sẹ̀. I am assure you 5 minutes. Màá dọ́dọ̀ yín ẹ gbà bẹ́ẹ̀.
You are deceiving another customer just like you deceived us.
The same way he deceived us.
Eh? Why?
Ètò ni iṣẹ́ yìí. Bó bá kúrò ó lè jẹun, ó lè jẹun. Bó bá kúrò ó lè jẹun ìyá mi. Bó bá kúrò ó lè jẹun. Workshop mi lélẹ́yìí. Ibi tí èèyàn bá ti ń ṣe ló ti ń jẹ. Ìyẹn ló ń pè ní workshop. Ibi tó bá ti ń work ni kó má ti shop.
You cannot base your business on lies. Koda now, it is corruption and it cannot work. Not in my country.
Corruption not in my country.
Welcome back. It's time for business news with Fidelia Aguncha.
Thank you, Thelma. The Nigeria Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, NATI, says the 3 tiers of government shared 2.788 trillion naira in the first half of 2017. NATI based its review on the data obtained at the meetings of the Federation Accounts and Allocation Committee, National Bureau of Statistics, as well as Office of the Accountant General of the Federation, Federal Ministry of Finance and the Debt Management Office. According to the report, despite the economic recession and fall in price of crude oil, the sum is 38% greater than 2.019 trillion disbursed in the corresponding period of 2016 and 3.51% below the 2.890 trillion disbursed in the first half of 2015. More than 700 Bureau de Change operators are inactive at the Central Bank of Nigeria Forex window. President of the Association of Bureau de Change Operators of Nigeria, Aminu Gwadabe, said the development has rendered the BDCs under threat as uncompetitive exchange rate continues to hit their bottom line and place the sustainability of their business in jeopardy. According to Gwadabe, the regulator sells dollar to BDCs at a higher rate compared to what the CBN sells to commercial banks. Oil dipped on Monday, weighed down by rising U.S. output, although a 13% fall in U.S. crude inventory since March indicated a gradual tightening market. Brent crude futures were at $52.64 a barrel, while U.S. crude were at $48.47 a barrel. Traders said the market was dampened by rising U.S. production, which has broken through 9.5 million barrels per day, its highest since July 2015. That's all on business. More stories coming up. Do stay tuned.
Corruption not in my country.
Give him his shoes somewhere here. His phone and everything.
Don't do like that again. No.
Thank you. So, bye-bye.
Hey,
Oga. Where do you think you are going? Home.
You never shake body.
Eh?
You never shake body.
Shake body? See?
Huh? You never shake body.
Eh?
You never shake body.
I don't get combo for my body.
You go take for here. Sit down there.
Afama, what's this man still doing here?
They say I do shake body. I shake body, I shake body. They say I do this. And I say I don't get color.
You are asking for money.
Sorry, ma'am.
Asking for money to bail a suspect is an act of corruption. Both of you will be punished. Corruption is not allowed within the force. Remember,
police is your friend. Giving and taking bribe is wrong.
Corruption, not in my country.
Stop corruption now.
Corruption not in my country.
The death toll from a landslide that swept over a fishing village in the Democratic Republic of Congo has reached 140. The landslide occurred last Wednesday in the northeast village of Tora when part of a mountain engulfed a fishing camp after heavy rainfall. At the time, the government said 40 people had died in the incident, but there are fears the toll could rise as high as 200. Authorities have now decided to suspend the search for bodies to prioritize the disinfection of the area. This measure will prevent the spread of possible diseases to nearby fishing villages. Super Eagles coach General Rose says Mikel Obi will be available for the team's next World Cup qualifier against Cameroon. The former Chelsea player who doubles as Super Eagles captain missed the last match against South Africa due to an injury. However, he is expected to return for the crucial games against Cameroon alongside defenders Victor Moses and Leon Balogun. The Eagles will take on the Cameroonians in Uyo on September 1st, with the second leg in Cameroon on September 4th. PSG striker Neymar has hit out at Barcelona's board, insisting the club deserves much better. The 25-year-old left the Catalans this summer in a stunning €222 million move to the French capital. In his 2 games at the club, he has scored 3 goals and created 4 assists. 2017 French Open champion Rafael Nadal has officially overthrown Andy Murray as world number 1. The Spaniard climbed to the top of the rankings in the latest ATP chat on Monday. It's the first time Nadal will be the top since July 6, 2014. The 31-year-old has won 4 tournaments this year alone, including historic 10 titles at Roland Garros, Monte Carlo and Barcelona. Well, that's all we have on news now. Thanks for watching. I am Thelma Okoro.